Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It is Tuesday night, and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. It's been a while since I've been here on a Tuesday. I've been sick the last week, and then the week before that I was kind of busy. So I'm back in it. I'm doing these Tuesday things again. This is going to be great. You may be wondering what we're working on tonight. So I am still wanting to work on this Crufts dog series that I started with last week. I did one of the Terrier winners. I want to get back to that, but tonight I just didn't feel it. I didn't have a lot of time to like prep or anything like that. So I thought I'd go with like a nice ink drawing. I haven't done one of those in a while. The last one I did was like an elephant, and I think it turned out pretty good. And I've got these ink pens that I got for like Christmas as a stocking stuffer. So I kind of wanted to use those just to try it out. So I'm going to do a horse tonight. And if that's cool with you guys, I'm going to jump right in. I want to give a shout out to a couple people in the room. We got Kinsley Loves Puppies. We got Because I Can. We got Rome Dog. We got Mama Q. We got Lorraine. Wow, everybody's here. Cool. All right, so I'm just going to get started. So like if you've been on the channel, all of you guys have been here before, but if you've never been to this channel, one of the things I like to do is start with like a watercolor like ink blot kind of thing and just kind of feel my way around the ink blot and try to extract a picture from it. So that's kind of what I'm going with here. I think the face of the horse is going to be here. And we got some other cool colors and stuff just going on, just to give it a little bit of color so that it's not all just like a black and white drawing, like I don't know, like a line art or something like that. So anyway, this is gonna be fun. We also got Mike K in the house. We got Tom in the house. Cool. This is definitely a party. Wow, I should do Tuesdays more often. It has been a while. Um, like I said, I got these cheap ink pens for Christmas. I think they're from Walmart. They're like under $10. They're nothing special, but part of the goal of this channel is to prove that you can make decent art with like low cost materials. So I'm not really sure what all the different sizes are here. I think this one's kind of like a brush. So I'm just gonna get started with the eye and stuff like that. But anyway, hopefully you guys are in a good mood. I'm feeling pretty good this week. Like I said, last week I was all sick and everything. I'm just feeling way better this week. So yeah, I thought I'd start with the eye just to give myself an anchor point here in this ink blot. I like calling it an ink blot, even though it's not technically ink. It's watercolor. The idea is to kind of give this like an ink and wash kind of feel, which I think strictly speaking is supposed to be like all ink. Like you're supposed to use watered down ink or something to create this like wash. But I like watercolor. I think it gives it like actual color and stuff like that. Hey, we got a kid in the house too. Cool. Kinsley says, I practiced dog ears earlier, tried my best, but couldn't do it, so stopped for today. Hey, it's a process. Um, you will be practicing dog ears all your life. One day you will master it, but you'll still be practicing. That's the thing. It's like it is a learned skill. Like this isn't something that you're born with. And it doesn't ever really go away, but it does. It's like a muscle. You need to like work it out every now and then. So you you will be drawing dog ears for the rest of your life trying to perfect it. If that's your thing, like if you're not into dogs, you won't. All right, so we got an eye going here. I'm trying to leave the highlight in it, even though I do have like a white pen to come back over it. Yeah, keep it up, Kinsley. I have no doubt that you will master this eventually. All right. Let me just see what kind of pens I've got here. I've got like a Sharpie for like big areas, but I don't think I'm gonna do any like major big areas on this. I'm gonna go with an 8. I think that's a good size just to kind of feel my way around. I don't want anything too big. Just while I'm kind of messing about here. Yeah, I'm pretty excited this week because like I always hate when the time changes in the winter and it gets dark early and stuff like that. I love that it stays light out um, throughout the summer and stuff like that. So we had the time change here this past week. That's pretty exciting. We also have St. Patrick's Day this week, which is cool. I love that. That's one of my favorite holidays. They have a parade in town I like to go to. So I'm looking forward to that this weekend. So I think this is just going to be an all around good week. So far, it's been okay. been kind of really busy lately and stuff, trying to catch up from like, when I get sick, I'm out. Like I'm not productive at all whenever I get sick. So I've been trying to play catch up. I'm one of those big babies like you hear about, like um, the guys that like when they get sick is like, poor me and stuff like that. Will you fix me some soup? And I don't know, just a big old baby. All right, so I think that's actually a pretty good eye so far. Um, so I want to get all the anchor points in, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of remind myself where the nose is, I think. And then I might tinker with that some more later. It's also been really warm. Like, it is super nice out. Oh, Kinsley says these streams are the highlights. That's cool, man. I I wish I could do it every day. I honestly do. But gotta unplug, gotta reset every now and then. But yeah, it's been super warm out lately. I've every day I just want to kind of go to the park and just spend my entire day outdoors. I mean, it's not like super warm or anything. I think it's like in the 70s, but that is like perfect. Like when it gets summertime, it's too hot. This is perfect. I love spring and I love fall. Summertime's okay, but my two favorite seasons are spring and fall. It's not technically spring yet, but it's definitely starting to feel spring. Like I haven't really seen any like flowers blossom or anything like that. So I think we have a little bit ways to go. Like there could still be like some frost and stuff like that. It was like there's an old saying, don't plant your crops until after Easter. I don't know if that's true. I don't know, but like I heard that at some point, and I think it's probably good advice because there might still be a frost. I don't know. It depends on where you live, I suppose. So the horse is always like kind of like frowning. Should draw a smiling horse, but the reference picture, he's kind of frowning a little bit. So I'm just kind of getting the outline in here just so I know where things are. But I'm not going to leave it like this. There's this muzzle, I guess, or I don't know what you would call it. It's definitely drenched in shadows, so we got some work to put in there. In fact, I think I'll go ahead and go with the brush. So I got all. This is like I think a medium-sized brush. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that and see how that goes. I don't spend a lot of time on ink, so I don't. I'm not a master at this stuff. I'd like to be. You know, basically everything I know about drawing in ink comes from drawing a bunch of comic books and stuff like that back in the day, or comic book characters. I never actually created a comic book. I don't want to like give the like a false impression that I ever was actually productive. But as every boy growing up, I used to draw like my favorite comic book characters, and um, I drew Batman a lot growing up, and a bunch of ninjas. Like I can probably still draw a ninja from memory. Like ninjas are cool, but yeah, I never really I never really read a book or like took any lessons on drawing with ink. It's just trial and error. But anyway, you get better at it over time. How do Kentucky horses greet each other? I feel like this is a joke. They I don't know. Like in actuality, they come up and they like rub noses. I don't know how do they greet each other. I feel like there's a punchline coming. With good old fashioned hospitality. Ha ha. Nice. Oh, that's the other thing about spring. We've got the horse show starting up. Not just the horse shows, but the you wouldn't know what I'm talking about unless you're familiar with horse racing. But the Keeneland spring meet is coming up soon. I think that's right around the corner. I think that's. I don't think that's this month, But that is right around the corner, and that's where the horse racing kicks off here in Lexington, which is like a big deal for us. We like our horse shows. I have a video actually. I keep meaning to put it out. Yeah, it looks like my camera's glitching. Hopefully that doesn't mess up. Um, I keep meaning to put this video out there. I just haven't. So I've got video footage of a horse show from last year that I'm probably going to put out this year, even though it's like a year old. Um, but I think that's fine because I'll put it out like right before the horse show of this year, so it'll be kind of like a recap of last year. The thing is, I took video of this horse show and I was going to draw a horse for it, and I just never got around to drawing the actual horse. So I might actually draw another horse for that video and then put that out there. But it's of a horse show here in town that's pretty cool. It's one of those cross country events where the horses are running across the field, jumping over like gates and things like that. It's pretty exciting. Because you never know when a horse is going to like trip and hurt itself, because that could always happen. So there's always that sense of danger, I guess. And then Jeremy is the main event. Ah, you guys got all the best horse puns. I love it. Where's Kevin at? Kevin probably has a good horse joke or two. Sometimes he watches like and doesn't comment though. He's probably actually busy getting ready for that event. I'm trying to remember when it is. It's either I don't think it's in March. I think it's in April actually. But yeah, I'm looking forward to St. Patrick's Day this week. A couple of other things probably exciting. Comic Con was this past week, but for some reason I didn't go this year. I usually try to like get tickets in advance just because they're so expensive, and then I didn't this year, so I was like, I'll put it off. I've been to enough of them. Like Comic Con around here, which isn't a very large show at all, is up to like $70. It's ridiculous. It's basically you pay $70 to go and spend more money, because once you're there, everything costs money as well. So like to get a celebrity autograph or something that costs money, to get a photo with somebody that costs money, to buy like merch that all costs money. So it's like I don't know, you could easily spend like 200, $300 at a Comic Con around here. All right, so I'm liking that nose. Let me come up here and just kind of like try to get a bit of an ear going here. Probably come back to this. So I try to like whenever I'm drawing in ink, I try to draw like kind of loosely. Um, it's not always like it's not always easy, but I try to like make broad marks. It's kind of like drag it across. All right, enough of that. Comic Cons are super fun. They're a lot of fun. So like I'm into every aspect of Comic Cons. I'm into like seeing celebrities. I'm into like the cosplay, all of that. I never actually do the cosplay myself, just because like I'm kind of lazy and I haven't ever put together a costume, and it's kind of difficult. I wear glasses to see, so I have to. I never wear contacts. I just never got into them. So whatever my character would have to either wear glasses or be wearing like a mask or something that supports glasses. So that's already kind of limiting. But I do think it'd be kind of cool. I always had this idea I would put together like a Groot costume, like a very tall, like 8 foot Groot. That would be so cool. We just had a comic convention a couple of weeks ago. I got an original piece from a local artist who has been the last couple of gatherings. So that's actually, so I'm glad you mentioned that. That's what I enjoy the most about local Comic Cons. So like, it doesn't matter how big the Comic Con is, because like you'll always find, and sometimes smaller the better, because like they have to pay to go to these things, the artists and stuff. So sometimes it's actually better when they're smaller and cheaper, for you to meet like local artists. So luckily the one around here is still small enough where there's a number of local artists who appear to sell their stuff. But it's still like $900 or something to get like a booth. Like if I wanted to go to a Comic Con, like I don't draw a lot of comic art, but say I did, or say I had my own comic book I was wanting to hawk, um, it would cost me like $900 to get a booth at this small Comic Con. I mean, it's not even like a huge one. It's like a regional one, so it's not terribly small, but it's not it's not the biggest thing in the world. So anyway, that would cost me $900. So of course you'd have to make as much money as you spend, or else it's not worth a while. Um, but nevertheless, there's still like a bunch of local artists who show up, and then there's also some smaller ones around here as well. And those are the best ones to find, like local artists. And I do highly recommend that. Like if you, most places that people live in the United States have like at least a small Comic Con of some type. Go there because that's where you're going to meet your local artists and stuff like that. And I often go and just like spend money on their comics just to show support and stuff. So yeah, I do recommend that. Like and then you kind of build a community because like they're local, so they keep showing up. Like you see them every year, and they're there are people that you can contact and stuff through like or stay in contact with like through Instagram, see where they're going to be next time and stuff like that. So you kind of build this like little community. I always like go and check out the artists at Comic Cons and just like collect a bunch of like business cards and like like little posters and stuff. Some of it's for inspiration, because like there's like one artist in particular. He does like these really cool like horror type like monsters and stuff like that in charcoal. And I really like his work. I forget his name, but I really like his work, and it's really cool. So like I look at that as like inspiration. I mean, I don't draw like a lot of horror type characters and stuff like that, but around Halloween maybe. So when drawing with pen, like I said, if you keep it kind of loose, you get like really cool marks and stuff. So like, don't be afraid to just kind of let the pen dance across the page. I like to do that. I like to call it dancing. Just kind of like let the pen kind of you don't want to be drawing lines. Like you want to be making brush strokes essentially. Like very rarely, like when you're ever drawing. I mean, unless I don't know, different people have different styles. So I shouldn't say rarely. Um, I don't draw lines. I draw shapes, right? So there's a shape to his nose and stuff. There's lines that go into drawing that shape, but by and large, it's actually shapes that I'm drawing. And then, you don't want to like draw a line all the way up the nose and stuff because like this is a false line. There's no real line there. It's just where, the edge of his nose becomes the background. So like you want this to be like very faintly in there. I'm putting it in there just so that you know where his nose ends, but it's not a line that actually exists in reality. So I will very carefully just kind of hint at a shape of a nose here. And as you can see, it's not very dark. I'll just probably leave the one line in there. And then, if I'm not happy with something, I can kind of clean it up by bringing like the mane around, which I will probably use a different pen for that. But anyway, just dance across the page. Biscuit is 99 days old and 42 pounds. That's amazing. Yeah. That's Rome Dog's new dog named Biscuit. I love that name. You should get two more dogs. Name one of them eggs and one of them bacon. I don't know why this camera keeps glitching, but whatever. As long as it doesn't totally go out. So as you can see, like some of these lines that I draw are like really tight, and then some of them are like very loose. And again, you have to have a little bit of like confidence that you can fix mistakes and stuff, or else you'll go crazy doing this. Like if I had to draw each individual line and I'm like paranoid over like how the line goes down and stuff, I don't think I would ever be able to complete one of these drawings. But I'm not worried that much about it. All right, so we got the basics of the shape of the horse here. I don't want to tinker with that and try to fix it because I feel like I feel like there's a loose wire somewhere. All right, let's go with, is that the biggest one I've got before I get into brushes, or I don't know. Um, yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that 8. Is there a pin here, maybe? I don't know too much about these pins. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. This looks cool. Eggs and bacon. Cat named Gravy. I like it. So this brush here is kind of cool. Like I can just kind of make scribbles to kind of like get some of the texture in on this horse here. Hitting it with my side my hand. So I think that, and it's very lightly. I should mention that I'm very lightly using this pen. And I'm trying to go with the grain of, not the grain, but the uh the kind of contour of the face. Right. So I'm like pulling this down. I could pull it up as well, I guess. This feels more natural for me. But I'm trying to go with the grain or the contour of the horse's face. Kind of, I don't know. Give him a give him a bit of a whatever the jaw is, I guess. And just kind of like very loosely draw these lines and stuff. And then, they can overlap, but that's how you get kind of darker areas. And then, of course, you can do like some cross hatching as well. So I have to be a little bit softer than with the elephant because the elephant naturally has, um, creases and stuff like that. So I'm not trying to represent creases. I'm just trying to represent shadows. Hey, Kubart, how's it going? Kinsley says, do you have any certain things to paint that are easy for starters? Like objects to paint? They're easy for starters. Basic shapes, I guess. So, like, you pick up a drawing book, they always like talk about like starting with spheres and cubes and stuff like that, so that you can like work with shadows and stuff like that. That's probably good advice. I mean, I know it sounds kind of boring and stuff to start with something that is basically squares and circles. Um, you can you can basically draw anything. So like, anything at all. This guy here, one of the reasons why they have these like little stick figures and stuff that come with art kits is because those take the human form and break it down into basic shapes. So like if you look at this guy, you're not going crazy with the detail on him. He doesn't have any detail in his face. Um, but you are getting the shadows and you're getting the basic forms there. So you have like an oval for an arm, and then you have like a little circle for like the socket, and then like another cylinder. Start with something like that. So yeah, actually I do have a recommendation. Start with Geppetto. Um, Start with Geppetto, and then kind of build up from there. But really, it's one of the things where it's like you got to be into it. So like you have to be into like whatever you're drawing. So if you like horses, try and draw horses. They don't have to be perfect. Like I said, I got my start as a wee little Jeremy drawing comic book characters and stuff like that. Things that I saw in comics that I thought were cool. Um, ninjas and Batman and things like that. So because I was into it, I spent time with it, and I think that's more important than what it is you're drawing is that you are committed to actually spending time with it. Because again says try painting fruit. That's a great suggestion. Fruits are nice, simple shapes. But then like God, I keep glitching. Hopefully that's not too annoying. Um, they're nice, simple shapes, but then there's also like some detail and color and stuff like that for you to like have fun with and explore. So like even an apple has texture to it. It had so no apple is actually red. There's actually some like greens in there. There's probably some oranges, things like that. Yeah, Lorraine, there you go. There's a reason why cartoons are cartoons. They're simplified. To start with, drawing simplified cartoons. I forgot to mention, I grew up drawing Bart Simpson a lot. So like, you know, whatever today's Bart Simpson is. I'm a huge fan of Adventure Time. Adventure Time has really, you know, simple shapes and characters and stuff like that. So like practice drawing in the style of a cartoon that you really enjoy. Like I said, I love Adventure Time, but I see people drawing SpongeBob, you know, a bunch of things that like at my age I don't recognize. But yeah, start drawing cartoons. That's great suggestion, Lorraine. Y'all have such good ideas. Yeah, that's what's so cool about a community. But yeah, Adventure Time is awesome, Rum Dog. I love Adventure Time. I don't know if Adventure Time is really for kids. Like, there's all this mythology and lore in Adventure Time that's just awesome. And it's such a positive attitude, you know, that Finn and Jake have. They're just like up for anything. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Adventure Time. And then, you know, I like Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty's probably not for everybody. You know, some of the humor in it's a little crass. Probably not for kids. But I like Rick and Morty. I'm trying to think of other cartoons. I, I feel like I'm missing out on anime. I feel like everybody else watches way more anime than me, which is strange because I like the art of anime. Um, but I feel like I'm missing that boat. Like I have my nieces and nephews and stuff. They sometimes talk about their favorite shows, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. They talk about their favorite shows, their favorite characters, and stuff like that, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's all lost on me. But I do like a really good animated show. I just enjoyed watching Spider-Man, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on Disney. I thought I liked the style of that. Arcane, totally different kind of style, was awesome. I love that. I love the style of Arcane a lot. Um, there is a, it's on Max, so like not everybody might have it, but you can look it up. I think on Amazon as well. Um, a movie called Flow. It is about a cat who is in a flood, and it's beautifully animated. There's like zero dialogue in it. There's only like a cat, and the cat meows sometimes. And I don't want to spoil it or anything, but the cat makes friends along the way. Like there's a dog, there's a lemur, there's a bunch of different stuff. I love that movie. That movie is so awesome. Like, um, even if you don't go and watch it now, like put that on your list to watch at some point, because it is great. It's called Flow. Just look for like a little black cat on the oh, Lorraine, yeah, it is sad. Well, I mean, you know, it's kind of sad and kind of uplifting a little bit because like there's some good things to it that's not sad as well. But yeah, it is kind of sad as well. But yeah, oh man, that movie was beautiful. Like and so understated. So like I said, there's no talking in it. You don't even see humans in it. Like throughout the entire movie, it's just dogs and cats and other animals and stuff like that on this like little adventure, and it's just beautiful. I highly recommend that for anybody. That's Flow, and just look for the black cat. It's so beautiful. But things like that are cool. But even that movie, so like you know, we're talking about different art styles and stuff, and like even that movie and stuff breaks things down into like simplified shapes and stuff. So like maybe that's a good source of inspiration. But yeah, you don't have to like, you know, you don't have to be drawing a lot of detail and stuff in your first couple of drawings. Like if you're just getting started. I'm a little bit nervous about using this brush too much. Need to need to switch to I am enjoying this. Like I'm using it like an actual brush. This is cool. This is why I got a new set, by the way. I had a really cool set that I was happy with, but I left the cap off of one of my brushes, and it dried out. So like I was like, man, I can't do any more ink drawings and stuff like that. So I was lucky enough to get this for Christmas, and now it's like I love it. I love just drawing with them. You know, I like drawing with any kind of medium. Like I'm still a big fan of just picking up a pencil and a notepad or something, and just drawing pictures and stuff like that. To me, that's fun. Um, but yeah, just grabbing a pen and just like sketching out something is really cool. All right, let's see. There you go. I'll go with this one. South Park. There you go. South Park. And those are very simple shapes, you know? Yeah, so like that, there's a good one for you, Kinsley. Don't just draw a picture, but like tell a story, right? So like you can do like a little 4-panel comic really easily. Um, some of the best, uh, some of the best web comics are very simple shapes. There's some web comics where they're just like line drawings or stick figures and stuff. So I mean, it doesn't take much, you know. This is difficult. This is one of those things where I wish I could like rotate this, but I'm trying to like keep it from not rotating. There you go. That works. So you just kind of want to like give little subtle hints of different features, but then kind of keep it loose, you know. I think that that's important when working with this particular style because you know using watercolor and then coming back over it with ink isn't anything new. Um, but there's a tendency to make it look like I don't know, like it's a comic or something like that, where it's more cell shaded than something that's like organic and expressive and all that, which is what I'm trying to accomplish here. I wish I had like different markers that were like different colors and stuff like that. Like I would love to have like a gray here, but I don't, you know. I used to draw a lot, but lost my art stuff one day. I lost all my skill, and I'm really sad because I feel like I will never be able to draw like I used to. So that is 100% just something you're telling yourself in your own head. It is something it's like riding a bicycle. You can recover it. And if you don't have it, you can even pick it up. So like it is entirely a learned skill and it's just practice, practice, practice. I didn't draw like this when I started this channel. It's only because I've been doing this so long that I draw this way. Like I started this channel because I wanted to draw better. And I'm still not where I want to be, but I am better. And it's only because I spend so much time on the craft, you know? So don't worry that you do not have any kind of perceived skill that you might need. It is something that you can pick up over time. And it is not something that you're meant to like just be able to just sit down and you know, I feel like that's something that like we all do a lot these days. You know, because there is the internet and you can learn how to do things and there are tutorials and stuff like that. We all feel like we can just sit down and just be able to do something with like no practice or training or whatever. Today, I had a busted faucet and I was trying to fix it today and I was watching a tutorial to do it. And even though like I have zero plumbing experience, I've never been a plumber, I don't know how to be a plumber or whatever. I'm like, I got this, I can do this, anybody can do this, right? You just watch this tutorial and stuff. Um, but no, I mean, you know, these people go to school for a reason. I probably should just call a plumber instead of trying to do it myself. I'm a very I like doing things myself, so like I'm gonna continue doing it. But really, you know, that person spent time learning, and there's really no expectation for me to just be able to jump in and fix a pipe that's busted. Hi guys, handsome horse. Thanks, Willie. Appreciate it. Thank you. Like I said, it's been a little while since I worked with ink, but I always enjoy it when I do. I almost feel guilty that I'm working on this because I do want to get back to doing those crufts for dogs. I kind of set a goal for myself and then they like abandon it after one picture. I'm gonna get back to that soon. The Crufts dog show. wrapped up like last weekend and stuff like that. And there's some really beautiful dogs that won. So I do kind of want to get back to that at some point. But tonight I just wanted to like relax and just have some fun. I'm basically hanging out with you guys, running out the clock until Daredevil comes on tonight. I'm loving me some Daredevil. They started last week. There were two episodes last week, and this will be the third one. And I just love the direction they're going. I actually went back and watched the first two episodes like twice, just because they're so good. Daredevil is by far, not by far, yeah, by far my favorite Marvel character. I know he's not the flashiest. He doesn't have all the abilities that like I don't know that Thor or somebody like that might have. But to me, I just like the concept of the character, and he's just really cool. I like the street level kind of character who has no real abilities. Like his only ability is things that theoretically people could like train themselves to do anyway, like be more observant and rely on other senses such as hearing and touch and things like that. So I love Daredevil, and I like the guy who plays him, Charlie Cox. He's just a cool guy. My understanding, like in real life, and then I like some of the other characters, like Karen Page, Deborah Ann Wool. I've always liked her. She's cool. And then whoever plays Foggy, I have no idea who plays Foggy. Echolocation, yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah, the double D chest, yeah. Yeah, Daredevil's always been cool. I didn't feel like they did it justice when Ben Affleck did him. So I was very happy when Netflix took it on. He's basically like not Batman in terms of like resources. Like Batman obviously has like Tony Stark kind of money, um, but just in terms of like I don't know, like ground level, brawler kind of ability. Daredevil's awesome. He's basically a ninja, which is, the same as Batman. Batman's basically a ninja. I don't know who the Batman of Marvel would be. I guess it depends. So, like, Bruce Wayne would be Tony Stark, obviously. But then when you get down to, like, actual Batman abilities, it's kind of like Daredevil and to some degree maybe Wolverine. Like I'm not sure if there's like a Batman equivalent exactly. Daredevil reminds me that we can learn to use our other senses better too. Yeah, so like I mean, I enjoy doing this. I don't know if anybody else is crazy like I am, but sometimes I like to sit in a dark room or something, just try to hear what I can hear, and you know, um, this is kind of probably not very safe, but sometimes when I'm walking on like a walking path, like a sidewalk or something like that, and I know where I'm going and I'm walking in a straight line, sometimes I just close my eyes and just walk blind, just for the experience of it. I know that's kind of weird, but that is something I do. I don't do it because I ever am worried about going blind or anything like that, or like particularly trying to see what it's like to be blind. I just enjoy it. I just like closing my eyes and listening. This is usually at like a park or something where there's like birds and all that stuff. Um, I do believe that we miss a lot. Um, we miss a lot. Like even just sitting here now talking to you, I'm listening. I can hear a helicopter somewhere in the distance. Um, I can hear my dog snoring. These are things that are like peripheral noise that I don't pay attention to. I don't. But when you stop and you take a moment to acknowledge that there are these things around you and stuff, it is kind of cool. Like I assume that helicopter is there's a hospital a couple of miles away from me. I assume it's on its way to that, or there's military bases around here and stuff, and maybe for that. But these are things that I normally wouldn't pay attention to. But then, like, if I pause and take a moment, um, I do. We put Rome dog to sleep. That's funny. Yeah. So, kind of cross hatching in these jaw lines. I do kind of want to come in and add like some midtones and stuff like that. That's a little bit challenging. So you kind of have to cross hatch this stuff in. And there are some areas that are a little bit darker than others. So the way you build darker areas and stuff, I've talked about this before when working with ink. It's mostly like line density. So like if you can use different size brushes and stuff, but this is still a pretty fine point. It's mostly that like you build up darker areas and stuff just by making your lines really dense. So like just cross hatching in general and stuff. That's how it works. So if you make really fine lines and stuff pretty far apart and stuff, it's not going to be all that dark. But then if you come in and you make these lines a lot closer together and stuff, you get these darker areas and stuff like that. So it's just basically cross hatching 101. But if you're doing it in pencil and stuff, you don't usually think about this because you don't really rely on cross hatching solely to create your tonal values and stuff. Here with this ink, you do. You kind of have to. I'm gonna switch to this just because I feel like I'm getting a little carried away with that brush. I want to switch to this finer point pen. Hey, Gallatin, how's it going? GG. Here, drawing a horse tonight in ink, which is a little nerve-wracking to be honest, because you can't make mistakes, or if you do, you have to cover them up somehow. But that's okay. If we do make a mistake, we'll just do the artistic equivalent of sweeping it under a rug, and we'll be fine. Again, like when you're doing your lines and stuff, your hatches. I think it's only cross hatches if you go back and forth. If it's just like one line, it's a hatch, I think. But when you're doing it, kind of go with the contour of the form that you're doing. So like here we have, I want to kind of inset those or create like a curvature for the eyelid. So you kind of like have them all go in one direction, following the contour. So that kind of gives it a little bit of a form. And then I do have the watercolor base and stuff like that, so I don't have to get crazy with these shadows and stuff because there's already a little bit of a shadow there. But I do kind of want to add a little bit more form than what the watercolor behind it is actually performing. But it's like I put in all of my shapes first, right? So I wanted to know where the eye is and all that stuff before I started building these other elements. This vein. So like one of the fun things about drawing horse faces. Actually, I don't think I've ever drawn a non never not drawn a horse without a face. Like it's kind of weird to say draw horse faces because like I always draw horse faces. Um, I could just say drawing horses. Anyway, the fun one of the fun things is these veins. So like those veins that go through a horse's face, those are always fun to they're very challenging to get veins in there. I don't care if I'm drawing in pencil, if I'm drawing in pastel, um, especially ink. These veins are very difficult to convey, but I think it's important because they kind of help define the horse's structure. Sorry if I still sound nasally. I'm still getting over my cold. So I was sick all last week, but over the weekend and stuff, it kind of cleared up. But I still have like I don't know, like a kind of a wet cough a little bit. I know it's gross. that's looking cool. Let me see if I can get some eyelashes in here. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Neat. Beautiful work, Jay. Looking great. Thanks. Appreciate it. Hey, Packer Jack. I ain't seen you in a while. I love that people come out of the woodwork every now and then. I really feel like I get most of my viewers, or most of the people I recognize on Tuesdays. And then Thursday is kind of like a mixed bag. Um, Sometimes I get quite a few people watching, and then sometimes I get no people watching. There's always somebody in here, and I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. That I always have somebody to talk to. Because it would be kind of awkward for me to talk to myself. I watch some people's live streams when they're doing art and stuff, and they don't say a word. They just sit there and draw or paint or whatever, and like I don't know, probably listening to music or something. They don't say anything. I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I like talking. At least explaining the process that I'm doing or something like that. I am surprised though. Like honestly, doing this live stream, I am surprised that I will talk to anybody about anything for any amount of time. I am, I find that surprising. Like I try to say something that's meaningful and like makes sense and stuff like that, but to be honest with you, I will talk forever about nothing. I think I get that from my dad because he is the same way. I am enjoying doing this kind of like stuff because like I've always liked this style, especially for like book illustrations. But like horses and stuff like that, I like to do a bunch of different styles anyway, just because like I said, I live in horse country. Um, you know, People around here really appreciate these things. Like if I was sitting in a pub or something drawing this guy on St. Patrick's Day, like if I did this weekend instead of right now, people would be really digging it because like they probably have horses of their own. Um, there's horse farms around here. They go to like horse races, things like that. So big horse culture around here. Got the Not everybody can do that. Like I had no idea for the longest time. I had no idea that not everybody can do that. The Spock greeting. William Shatner was at the Comic Con this weekend. That guy is a million years old. I had no idea he was like, I think in his 90s. That's pretty old. I don't know, like what the age cutoff is for going to Comic Con as a guest. Like Barbara Eden was at the one last year, and she's old. She's pretty old. So I don't know what age you two people they go to Comic Con. I don't know. Like they just sit around these Comic Cons and stuff and sign pictures. So I don't know like how old is too old to sign pictures. I don't know. It's hard to keep Barbara bottled up for sure. If I was her age, this is exactly what I would be doing. Not only is going to like it's not just Comic Con. She goes to like media shows of all kinds of different types, I guess. Um, but at that age, I would want to keep busy. So I would be going to these things just to keep busy. One of the sad things is last Comic Con was the I think the last public appearance of Shannon Dotrey, who passed away last year. I actually got to see her, and I'm glad I did because that was I mean she passed away and stuff. I was always a big fan of hers, so that was kind of sad. She was way too young. I think she had I don't know what kind of cancer, but I think it was cancer. Way too young. This guy's looking pretty good. All right. I think, yeah, another little line through here. Sometimes I forget to include different features, but I always come back to them. It helps to like take a step back and like reevaluate every now and then. The Peach Pit. I remember that from 90210. Yeah. She was there. I think her co-star Holly Marie Combs. I think that's her name. I don't remember. Um, from Charmed, she was there. Alyssa Milano was not there, so I don't know if there's like a rift or something. But um, there's a there's quite a few people that I don't recognize. Like a lot of voice actors and stuff like that go to these things. I don't. I'm not very good. I'm terrible with like faces anyway, but like certainly I'm not very good at voices. But last year I volunteered, which is really the cheaper way to go. So like if you're looking for a way to go to these Comic Cons, and they are pretty expensive. Like I said, this one's up to this one this past weekend. It's up to $70, which if if you bring like I don't know 3 kids or something like that, you're looking at 200 something dollars. It's crazy. Uh, so it could be a little cost prohibitive. And then if you're just a fan like I am and you just want to go and meet other artists and stuff like that, um, I mean, I can afford $70, but it's like I don't really want to waste $70 either. Um, so volunteering is my point is a good way to go, especially if you're not trying to take your kids or something like that. So I volunteered last year. It got me in every day. I got to go and meet artists, hang out with the celebrities and stuff like that. I mean, you basically treated like a VIP. You can go anywhere you want. You can do whatever you want. You can show up to any event. The only drawback is that you have to like basically like usher people around. But I don't mind that. I like hanging out, talking to people. Obviously. So if you don't mind that kind of stuff, maybe volunteering is a good way to go. There's another Comic Con up in Cincinnati in the fall. I might go to that one. I had to skip this past weekend, but I might go to the next one. Then of course this weekend is St. Patrick's Day, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then the following weekend, this is just a good month. Following weekend after that, there's another gallery hop where I get to go around and check out everybody's art. I'm looking forward to that. In case you're wondering what a gallery hop is, I did a video of the last one I went to. And, you can check that out. It's somewhere on my channel. Just do a search for like gallery hop or something like that. It's basically like there's a bunch of different art galleries in town, and they kind of open them up on like a Friday night, and people just kind of go around and have fun. It's kind of like a party. Oh, BIC says that was a good video. Thank you, I appreciate that. I want to do more of those, just like hanging out kind of videos. I don't get a chance to go to like these things as much as I want to, but for example, I've been wanting to get up to the museum up in Cincinnati, the art museum. They have a very good art museum up there. I want to do a video where I just kind of take you guys on a tour of that. I think that'd be fun. And then, like I said, I have that video footage that I've been sitting on for like a year of a horse show that I went to last year. I'm gonna probably put that out soon if I remember to. But yeah, just like these slice of life kind of videos and stuff like that. It doesn't always have to be me drawing something, I don't think. And then now that it's warm, I do plan on doing more outdoor art. So that's gonna be cool. As soon as I figure out where to do it, where I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm a little bit worried that like if I went out and just started like drawing on the sidewalk or on the pavement somewhere where there's cops, one of them might think I'm vandalizing. I don't know. I don't really want to talk to a cop even if I'm not doing something wrong. Um, this is like not an idea of fun for me, talking to a guy who's carrying around a gun. Um, but yeah, like I mean, when you draw with sidewalk chalk, pastels, and things like that, it's not bad for the environment. It's not permanent. It'll wash away as soon as it rains and stuff like that. But how do you explain all that to somebody who thinks that you're creating graffiti? I don't know. And I would love to like get permission beforehand, but I don't even know how you do that. Like, do you go down to City Hall and ask for like a permit? I have no idea. I don't know how any of this stuff works. And the rebel inside of me, the true artist, says, I don't need permission. I'm creating art. Artists don't ask for permission, but Jerry gets a test. Yeah, so I'll be live streaming from jail where I got arrested for graffiti. But no, I mean, I really don't know where you go to ask for permission. I would love to ask for permission to do. I mean, it's kind of silly because kids do this stuff. Like you go to a park and stuff, kids play with sidewalk chalk, but a grown man going out playing with sidewalk chalk, you know, I can see somebody thinking that I'm spray painting or doing something bad. So I would love to get permission beforehand, but I just don't know what's involved. Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, I doubt they would care too, but nowadays, you don't know. I don't know. I would imagine that it would be one of those conversations like, "What are you doing?" And it takes 2 seconds to say that it's just chalk. And they'll wash away, and then they'll leave you alone. But you never know. But yeah, so I did one of those recently. You can see that on my channel page somewhere. I don't know. These things get buried. But I want to do more of those. I want to do bigger ones. So like I want to go to there's this legacy trail, which is a pretty cool like walking path and stuff through the city. I want to do a big old huge horse, right? So like a giant horse, like 8 feet or more. Um, that's the other thing. I've done enough of these small drawings. I want to go big. Um, I want to create art that you can like lay down in or something like that. So like a big huge horse, 8 feet wide or something like that. I don't know how long that would take. So you see how like these like lines, they're following the contour of his cheek, and I'm spacing them very far apart, right? So by doing that, I create more shadow through here, but not the kind of dark shadow you see here with the dense lines, if that makes sense. And then towards the bottom of it, I'll kind of cross hatch it back across so that the edge of it kind of blends in. So, that's how you draw with ink. You just have to like be brave because it is unforgiving. Like it's not like you can't fix mistakes. It's mostly that you have to cover up mistakes. If you make mistakes with drawing this way. But like the way you practice doing this, like if you're really that concerned about it, is spend some time drawing in pencil without using an eraser. Because I think what you'll find is that you probably do a lot of drawing in pencil anyway, where you don't make mistakes, or you don't. Sorry, everybody makes mistakes. Where you don't fix mistakes, so like you just kind of draw over them and stuff. That's kind of what's going on here. It's not that you don't make mistakes; it's that you just kind of cover them up. And you probably do that with pencil already. So I think the process I did here, rather unintentionally, is probably good. You know, you start with like getting your basic shapes in there. So I started by getting the eyes and the nose, recognizable things in there, and then kind of coming back and kind of building up over that and stuff, getting some more form in here with these other marks and stuff. Because ordinarily I would be doing a lot of this in pastel, and I would be building up those kind of like forms and stuff with different variations of like pastel, but I don't have that luxury here. I don't even have watercolor available to me here. Um, some people do these things where they come back with watercolor. I like to start with the watercolor. I have tried doing watercolor over ink. I don't like it. Other people do it, but I don't like that. You know, you get residual over your ink. I think that if you're going to do ink with watercolor, the ink layer should be on top, and you should probably do it like this, where you do like a wash. Um, Obviously, I wasn't doing a lot of detail and stuff when I did the watercolor. It's just a wash. It's just like an ink blot, kind of like Rorschach type deal, um, to which you draw detail over. I think that, I mean, you know, everybody's got their own thing. So do your own art style and stuff. But that is what I'm doing here with this art style. And I think it works really well. Yeah, artists are good problem solvers. That's one of the things that attracts me to art, is that, you know, it's not just drawing a picture, it's solving problems in a work. I think one of the reasons why I started drawing in ink also on this channel is that there are like a lot of treasure hunters who come in, and like a lot of times, so like these treasure hunting books that we all consume and stuff, they have like some sort of line art in them. And I've been arguing for years that, like, you know, some of those lines, they probably don't mean anything. They're just probably artifacts and stuff from like the process. And I like drawing these things because you can see how that works. You know, I'm not thinking about each of these individual lines, they're just appearing on the page. Um, so like it would be kind of pointless to be looking at these lines for clues in like a treasure hunt or something. Speaking of which, there's a new treasure hunt coming out soon, March 27th. It's part of that Netflix docu-series on the Forrest Finn treasure hunt. So if you guys are interested, it's supposed to be like a new book or something that goes along with it. I'll probably talk about that when it comes out. Hey, how's it going, Newman? Sage Walker. I love that. That just sounds cool, Sage Walker. I love it. I'm picturing like a big field of sage. You're just kind of walking around through it and stuff. I need a name for this horse, guys. Like, if I were to title this artwork, what do you guys call it? Because things like this, I'm probably like inclined to just kind of like put in a frame and just go put somewhere, like give it away. It'd be kind of cool to like write the name of it down here and just kind of like, I don't know, put it in like a library or a bar or something like that. Just kind of like leave it sitting there and just walk out. That'd be fun. I love doing things that make people go like, huh, that's weird. Um, also, I have like tons of pieces like just laying around and stuff like that. So I think it'd be kind of fun to kind of give back. And this is a good piece for that. Some of my pastel or even charcoal pictures and stuff like that. It's one of those things where it's like there's so much powder and stuff. How do you like seal it up and stuff and like give it away? This is just watercolor and ink. Like I can easily just mail this or do something else with it. Um, so this is the type of stuff that I'm more likely to just kind of like leave out there some random place or something. Gallatin said, Willie says Lenny the horse. I like that. I like Lenny. That's good. Gigi says, you're so good at horses, you should try a pastel unicorn on black paper. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, I like that. Um, one of my nieces is really into like unicorns, like just add a horn to it. I think that would be cool. I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, I like drawing horses, and anytime I try like a new, I've mentioned this before, but anytime I try a new medium, my go-to is like trying out a test with like a horse just to just because I feel comfortable drawing horses. It's so weird because horses are actually difficult and stuff. It's just because I've drawn so many of them that I feel comfortable drawing them. Like if you're beginner or like even like intermediate, you might have some trouble drawing horses. Masters have trouble drawing horses sometimes. Um, but so like don't try to draw a horse and just get frustrated because you can't the first time. I've just drawn so many of them. It's one of my go-to drawing things. My first couple of horses were terrible. But then I started thinking about it. So like the thing is, it's like, you know, you're going to be terrible at whatever you do the first time you do it. But then you start thinking like, well, all right, let's get serious about this. What am I looking at here? So then you start noticing like the structure of the horse. You know, you'd be inclined to just draw like, I don't know, like whoops, like a circle, and then like, I don't know, different shapes and stuff like that. But when you really start looking at the horse and you start thinking about the structure of the horse and stuff like that, that's when you really start getting better at it because you start caring about these different features, these underlying features and stuff. So like I start caring about the bones in the face. I start caring about the muscles in the face and stuff. And these horses are jacked up, right? Too. They have so much muscle in them. Like if you draw like a full size horse and stuff, you're basically drawing a bodybuilder. Because they are so muscular, and it's such beautiful form too. Like a lot of people draw like human figures and stuff like that just because like humans, like men, women, doesn't matter. Like the muscles, the skin, all of that stuff, it's beautiful. It's the same thing with horses. Horses have this underlying body anatomy that is just so beautiful to draw. Just like it's like modeling with clay. So I love drawing horses. Long story short, um, other people probably would too. Like there are some people that's all they draw. I get a little bored sometimes, so I have to draw other things. But I always come back to horses. And like I said, if I'm learning something new, I take a horse as my muse because I know that there's whatever it is I'm learning, I'm going to be able to like apply it to drawing or painting a horse or something like that. So like one day I plan on like tackling learning oil painting. When I do, I will probably be doing a lot of horses. One of these days, I'm probably going to do like a watercolor picture that's just watercolor, like not messing around with ink or pastels or any of that stuff. And when I do, I'll probably do a horse. And then obviously I do dogs and stuff like that too, because like I'm fairly comfortable drawing dogs at this point. But of the two, I would probably pick a horse over a dog to draw, just because there's so much. Like when you're drawing a dog, it's mostly fur. Most dogs, unless it's like I don't know, like a really smooth fur dog, like short haired dog. Uh, Otherwise, it's mostly you're drawing fur. With horses, you're drawing muscles. You're drawing muscles and anatomy. I mean, you can get all that with a dog too. It's just depends on the breed. You'd have to pick a short-haired one. Lorraine says this horse is so amazing. Thanks. I appreciate that. Um, hey, we got Larry in the house. Cool. Haven't seen Larry in a while. Have a good one, Larry. I appreciate you stopping in. And we got Warhorse Kabar. Horse. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with this horse. Um, what I like about this horse is it so I don't know, like there's fundamentals in drawing and stuff that I don't usually get to or I usually don't spend a lot of time on, and it's actually kind of a good exercise to come back to, like cross hatching and stuff like that. I don't spend a lot of time cross hatching because that's not the medium I usually work with. I usually work with pastels and stuff where I'm blending them out and they're like very smooth and things like that. When you're drawing in ink, and you don't have that kind of gradation and tone and stuff like that, you have to employ these type of drawing skills that are fundamental. Like people have been doing these things for centuries, but you don't see a lot of people doing it anymore. Like even in comic books and stuff, most comic books and everything are done on computers now, right? So they don't spend a lot of time. This is like a style of the past, really. This kind of traditional art style. Because if you're doing a comic book or whatever, you're you're still using black lines for some of the stuff, but you're not doing this kind of like cross hatching as much. You're using on a computer. You're creating those different types of tones with other ways, like I don't know, but you're not creating like a line art kind of thing like this, probably, or you don't see a lot of it anymore, unless somebody's specifically doing it because they're enjoying the process of working with ink. Like there's a concept of like Inktober, which I think is October, where a lot of people specifically draw in ink and stuff and explore working in ink just for fun. Um, this is probably like more geared towards that, probably. Anyway, I'm liking this guy's face. I'm gonna add a little bit of a highlight on this nostril here. So this is like a white gel pen. It's seen better days. You probably don't see the like white I'm actually adding here and stuff, but use it to do a few little touch-ups. So I think I'm actually getting pretty close to done. I know that this is probably like a shorter stream than usual, but you know, the actual area that I'm covering and stuff isn't as big as like many of my other ones and stuff like that. But I do like drawing in ink. I always tell myself every time I do one of these, I should do more of these, and then I just don't. I don't know. The I think the thing is like I'm on this color spree lately where I'm enjoying drawing in color. Like I used to do a lot of like monotone color, not monotone, monochromatic pictures where they're all like, they're all black and white or they're all like, I did a lot of coffee paintings last year where they're all like that kind of brownish color. Um, and that I think this year I've been like really, really exploring color a lot, like even vibrant colors like rainbow colors and stuff like that. Um, I I don't do a lot of like drawings like this as much anymore. And that every time I do, I'm like, man, I really enjoy this. I should do more of these, and then I just don't. But I like gently dancing a pen across the page. To me, that's it was so fun. And I don't know how else to describe it. It really is like sliding. It's almost like you're ice skating. But you've got like thicker lines, you've got like thinner lines and stuff like that, and they just kind of all work together. I just love the style of it. I love it whenever I see other people do it, and I love it whenever I do it. Like, because I'm always surprised. I am 100% always surprised whenever something I do looks like I imagined it might. Like I don't know what I imagined here and stuff, but this is probably better than what I had in mind. So that's always fun. All right, so I always got to make sure I put the caps back on so I don't let them dry out. That's what happened to my last pen set. So one of the things I think is important, um, just to mention, is I start I start drawing these things with like different pen sizes and stuff like that. So you can see that there's darker area here, like thicker lines here and stuff like that, and then like these really fine lines here. So that's cool. I like that. I like that sort of contrast. But I don't like when there's not like a transition between them. So I think it's important to kind of like bring these things in. I just wanted to like down here, these kind of are done that way and stuff. Up here, I was looking at these like thick lines, and they're not like brought into the finer lines and stuff. And I think that it's important to like connect those. So that it all looks kind of like it works together. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll probably call this done. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. What do we call this guy? Lenny? Yeah, I think it was Lenny. Lorraine says, this horse is so amazing. Good job, Jeremy. Thank you so much, Lorraine. I appreciate it. Your horse sounds like she was special. Oh, say, Newman's horse. I could steer my horse with foot pressure and also taught him hand signals, same as my Springer Spaniel. Did you ever do like dressage? Because I know that that's one of the goals in dressage is to be able to like steer or like have the horse do different things without it being overt that you're giving it commands and stuff. So like that sounds like a very dressage kind of thing that you're doing there, which is awesome. I'm always deeply impressed by that kind of stuff. Dressage is French for like the discipline. It comes from military horses and stuff like that, where they're training their horse to follow specific commands. And one of the things in dressage is you're not really supposed to show that you're doing anything at all. And I always thought that was like really super interesting. It's an underrated sport. Like a lot of people look at dressage and they're like, "Oh, that's kind of boring," or they look at like, "Oh, the horse is prancing around and stuff like that." That's kind of, and that's all there is to it. There's a lot more to it that is pretty fascinating. Um, the horse sport that most people like, obviously, is the jumping because it's more exciting. People love to watch these horses jump, and I don't blame them. I mean, these horses are like, it's amazing how much power they have in their muscles like because they weigh a ton and then they like fly basically over these gates and like when I put that video out I'm gonna make a bit like every effort to actually put that video that I've been talking about out this week because you'll see these horses basically flying through the air and they weigh a ton so it's so amazing to me that they are able to get that kind of lift because they're heavy but that just shows you how powerful they actually are. So it's no surprise to me that jumping and stuff is like the most favorite activity that people like to see horses do. But to me, some of the other stuff is kind of underrated, like dressage is I had to have somebody explain it to me because it's not like 100% um you know intuitive what's going on there and stuff. But this girl explained to me how dressage actually works and stuff, and I thought it was pretty impressive. If you ever want to know about horses, find a horse girl because they know everything. They'll let you know. Horse girls, they live and breathe horses. So anyway, I think I'm about done here. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, maybe get like a little subtle line up here, just letting you know that that horse mane kind of extends a little bit higher. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, cool. Um, The Nez Perce horse is a really good horse, and the Spanish Barred Mustang up on the northern end of Bighorn Mountains is an excellent breed. I have a book around here somewhere of the 96 breeds of Northern America. I should probably make my way through that book at some point. I'm trying to like draw all the different dog breeds, which is probably going to take me the rest of my life. But then I do also want to do all the different horse breeds as well, because I couldn't tell you what kind of horse this is. I've never been very good at that. I want to say it's an Arabian, but I don't know. I'm not really sure. Um, but I do like that kind of stuff. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And another, you know, another example of all the fun and like different things you can do with ink. I guess theoretically I should probably extend some of that ink across. But anyway, um, I've gotten past to where I am not just into like drawing ink anymore. I always have to have some sort of background like wash and stuff. But I think that this works really well together. Like I think that if I just did this and stuff, it would look okay. But I think what really makes it a dynamic piece is the fluidity of the watercolor behind it and stuff. I think that works really well together. But you know, also it's a good start. So like you start with like the ink blot and then you kind of build it up and add some definition to it. It kind of falls in the same vein of the other kind of art that I've been doing lately and stuff. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I always enjoy drawing horses and stuff. Like I said, I'll probably get back to drawing dogs here pretty soon because I want to finish up all the Crufts Dogs winners, which was like an amazing show. So like I'm definitely gonna get back to that soon. But wanted to take a little break, do a horse. It's been a while. So hopefully you guys had fun. Let's see. Oh, we got MJ in here. Cool, awesome. So yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off and. I will see you guys on Thursday. Like I said, maybe do a dog bin. Just wanted to give a shout out to MJ who came in here. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's everything. Kinsley says another beautiful piece. I appreciate it. Thanks. All right, so I will be back on Thursday. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. You guys stay cool. Enjoy the weather. If it's as nice where you're at as it is here, like it really is feeling like spring. So anyway, have a good one. Thanks. Bye.